Angela, I like your focus on PTSD and related effects of cults/abuse. Does one of your videos discuss strategies for trauma survivors to connect/date when we feel/think so different? I'm 49 years old. Hey, Angela, thank you for this. I don't have one video, so I thought I would address this as a question, as an answer here on my Q&A. And really all I can do is share with you my own experiences. I know that this is a very, very different experience for people in different parts of the country or in different situations, different areas. But for me, when I first got, in terms of trauma survivors connecting and dating and hooking up, I have chosen to be open about my experiences, and I have had to learn to draw back on TMI, on just like announcing everything about myself at the get-go. That can be its own brand of problem when you're trying to start relationships with people. They don't want everything right at the beginning. They do want a little bit of time to get used to who you are. And so I have not made it a secret that I was a Scientologist. I've never lied about it. I've never said anything about or tried to deny it. And I have had nothing. Now I'm married, but up until then, I didn't have anything but success talking about it or putting it out there that I have trauma in my past and trust issues and et cetera, and letting that be known. Now, again, not all on the first date, but how I approached it was, be friendly, be open, just be honest. Try to find people who can relate to me and my experiences. I didn't particularly want to connect with an ex-Scientologist right away or think that was something I wasn't trying to find somebody who shared my trauma in order to have a relationship with them. And I think that was a good move. That certainly worked for me. I certainly could have. There were ex-Scientologists I met that, certainly were relationship compatible. But I wasn't eschewing it totally, but I just wasn't trying to keep myself in that corral, so to speak. And I think that by going out and trying to connect with lots of different people with lots of different backgrounds and experiences, we do ourselves a favor, because you get a better, more well-rounded look at, how the world works and how people are and how different people's ideas can be from your own and how their world views can be so different. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I tried to be as open as possible, as accepting, as tolerant as possible in trying to relate to other people. And I found a great deal of success in being that way. Listening, maybe more than talking, although for me that's a little hard. Honestly, I talk a lot. But so I guess that part of it is a little hard for me to totally say with a straight face. But but that's kind of how I approached it attitude-wise. And as far as you mentioned here, because we think and feel so different. There's a thing that I have come to realize that I think you might eventually as well, which is that there is such a great thing to be accomplished in our lives by recognizing and tolerating the differences of others and kind of being open and accepting to their differences. And that you come to find, I have come to find that everyone is so unique and different that way that considering myself uniquely different because of my trauma or cult survivor status is a mistake. It puts me in yes, I am different from other people that way. But if I put that as a top tier priority, is how I see myself in my self-image, when I present to others, then I'm creating a gap. I'm creating a difficult border for them to cross or position for them to have to deal with. I'm a trauma survivor. I'm different from you. I'm not the same. You have to talk differently to me to the way you talk to other people. as much as I could sort of put that on the back burner and not put that there and not make that the front and center attitude in my approach to other people, the easier I could get along with and relate to other people. And I hope that that makes sense, because I'm not saying to deny, as I said at the very beginning, I'm not saying to deny, to lie about, to deceive anybody about it, but also not to unduly put that cult survivor, trauma survivor status there as though it's so special and unique and different that, you know, you have to be treated with kid gloves or something, or treated, like I said, very, very differently from other people. I think the faster that we can sort of self-correct that idea and realize that instead of us being so different and that being a bad thing, where I'm really trying to go with this is recognizing everyone's different. And it's really learning to appreciate and learning about how those differences manifest with every single individual in your life, that you really do grow strong bonds with them. That, you know, if you only treated people as a social surface veneer type of thing, and everybody else is the same and you're so different from all of them, you know, you're kind of, like I said, you're kind of creating your own barriers or walls there. And that's an attitude. It's one I've adopted. I can't say it's going to work for everybody, but you asked for some advice, or, you know, have I done anything about this to discuss, you know, how we might break down those barriers or self-imposed barriers. That's how I've done it. I'm sure there are other ways that could be done for other people, or other approaches that would be just as successful for them, but that's how I've done it. So I hope that helps.